If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
And Coach Matt Griffith, head football coach and athletic director at Sylacauga High School, joins us on our Coach's Corner this morning, brought to you by Collier Motors. And a busy man, a well-traveled man. Yesterday was a challenge, wasn't it, Coach?
When things are all in perspective, though, when your daughter calls and she's lost her contacts. It's been so long since she's gone to the eye doctor. Her glasses aren't working anymore. So you and your wife drive all the way to Tuscaloosa last night to meet them in Tuscaloosa.
Great weather for the drive, huh?
She's in Livingston, which is West Alabama now. It's about 45 minutes. So we met them in Tuscaloosa just to get her contacts. And, of course, we hadn't seen her in a month and a half. So you end up visiting. So we got home late last night. But that's part of it. I was always told you never quit raising them. She's 22. You never quit raising them.
That's right. Never quit loving them. Never quit helping them. That's for sure. Let's revert back to Friday night, Sylacauga on the road to Jasper, and you're in pretty good position there for a long time of winning that football game.
Yeah, we were. Hey, listen, probably one of the worst conditions I've ever seen to play on in my life, and both teams had to play on it. I probably didn't realize how bad that field was till like my third quarter. Brady Davis got hurt, and I walked out there. And it's just over your ankles in mud. You're walking like it was in snow to keep from falling down. It was just awful conditions. I thought our kids executed our plan. I thought they were very ready to play. We did have some center issues, and we knew that going in.
Talk about that a little bit.
Our starting center was suspended for team rules, and our freshman center, the backup, was suspended for team rules. And
so you had two suspended centers.
Two suspended centers. Our right tackle is the former starting center. Yeah. So we moved him to center, and then we moved our left tackle as a backup emergency just in case something happened. He had only been working about 3 or 4 days at center. And sure enough, in the second quarter, our starting center goes down, and our left tackle came in, and he did the best he could, and he settled down and played much better the second half. And you can see we scored 2 touchdowns. We should have had a third, but we had a couple of scoring drives in the first half that some snap issues hurt us.
That's a tough spot to be in.
It's a very tough spot to be in. But the kid played really well the second half, and I thought we played really well the second half. And you got the ball on the 6-yard line. It's 27-20, and there was some communication issues right there. Me and you've talked about it. Everybody's talked about it. I've been coaching for 27 years. John Blackman coached for 34, and Tim Posey coached for 36. There's over 100 years there of coaching between us.
We're all wrong.
And we were all wrong. I mean, we all thought it was first and goal, but the misleading thing was your chain crew had first down. The scoreboard had first down. So we think we're first and goal from the 6. Well, we run a scripted first down play. We're already talking about a 2-point conversion. We're on the 3 now. I'm under the assumption I've got 3 more downs to score. Never entered our mind not to score. We were probably going to go for the win. We didn't know if we could hold them out in an overtime period. And when their offense came on, but you have to give the official credit. It's the right call, and it's the.
So you guys didn't know it was 4th down?
Oh no, nobody, everybody in the stands, everybody but that head official. Everybody thought it was first and goal, but a personal foul is not an automatic first down if the yardage doesn't give you a first down. If the yardage doesn't give you the first down, it is like at that point it was half the distance to the goal. And it's repeat the down.
Wow.
And, my only argument now looking back on it is I wish the official had stopped the clock and corrected the chain crew, and then we would have realized, or at least signaled to me that it was 4th down.
He could have explained it to you.
He did. Yeah, and I was a little upset because I brought him over to explain it to me, and when he did, he most of the time when they're explaining a rule, they do not charge you a timeout. He charged me a timeout, and it's his call to do. That's he can. But it took my last time out as well. So that was difficult, but you can't take away. We had other opportunities in that game, especially in the first half, to score. And I thought that night it was 2 evenly teams. I thought we played extremely well to play somebody's number 1 and us be number 4. and it was that close to being the upset of the state.
And normally you have a 1-4. It's usually the one that wins by
It's a blowout
margin.
Yeah, it's usually a blowout. And but I knew we had a shot. We had 2 weeks to prepare. It showed offensively that we had gotten some things fixed, that we were much smoother in a lot of regards.
Your young freshman ran the ball well.
Young freshman ran for over 250 yards on 22 carries, and he'd had a couple more touchdowns if we hold our blocks longer in the perimeter. So, well, he's been playing strong safety. And, I told you, we brought him along slow, and I still feel that we've done the right things with him. And he's just emerged now, and now, the sky's the limit for him. He's got to work hard in the weight room. The thing with him is we got to keep him healthy. He's a 3-sport athlete. If you watched him play, he's on the JV basketball team. He's a phenomenal basketball player. He's a phenomenal baseball player. And our coaching staff has got their hands full of doing a very good job to make sure this kid, and then the community needs to understand this. This kid needs to play everything he wants to play in high school. And so, in that its specialization does not get him to college. We've got a kid that may have a choice of 3 sports of where he goes, and he needs to be able to make that choice with his family without any outside pressure. My biggest thing was him is to just leave him alone, let him be a kid, let him enjoy everything he wants to in high school, and things will fall in place for him.
You don't very often get a special athlete like that to go through a system where they're stars at 3 sports and rushing for over 240 yards in the first round of the playoffs. So, it looks bright for Sylacauga's future.
It does.
Talk about that future a little bit this morning.
Well, we lose 15 seniors, but you lose about only 6 to 7 seniors that were playing for you, and pretty good class. They really did what we asked them to do. I thought they played these last two to 3 weeks as well as they could. We were worried about this class of how much they really wanted to keep winning, and I think they proved it Friday night that they really cared about it and did what we asked them to do. But the majority of the football team is back. We were junior, sophomore, and even a couple of freshmen loaded. That we've got a lot of kids back. Now, it's still the same region. You've got a tough region, but you watch our region tonight. Watch every single team. We got beat in the first round in the closing seconds. All 3 teams are still in it. You'll see all 3 teams in the quarterfinals. There'll be 2 in the semis. It's that type of region. I think we've got the toughest, best football region in the North, and you're going to see we've got a shot out of this region to play for.
Next year, you'll have to replace a quarterback.
Have to replace a quarterback. You have to replace Brady Davis and Quay Taylor. We'll have to replace a free safety in DeMarco. We'll have to replace a Cam Cook at defensive end. But we think we've got good quality guys coming. We've got J.D. Deloach. J.D.'s gotten a lot of reps this year. We've got Chris Howard, a very young freshman, going to be a sophomore, who is a big, different style quarterback. And, it's one of those things now to get in the weight room. Right now, you're in the process of detoxing, and it takes a couple of weeks, takes a while. It takes me longer than the kids. Kids roll pretty quick, and it's the depressing thing of cleaning out lockers, putting everything up. That takes me a good couple of weeks. We'll go back in the weight room a little bit today and tomorrow. Then they've got Thanksgiving break off. And when they come back, it's 3 hard weeks before they get out for Christmas. And then from January to April is when you build your football team. That's when you build it and you find the identity of your team through all that work in the weight room, and it just never ends. You just start building it again.
Sylacauga finishes 7-4 on the season. First round loss to Jasper, and I guess it used to be called Walker County, didn't it? Something like that.
They did.
So Sylacauga's season concludes at 7-4. That first round, last several years, boy, there's been some tough games that have gone either way the first round.
They have. There are. And Jasper's got a good football team. They're playing Southside of Gadsden, and Southside struggled this year. Southside, the head coach at Southside, I went to high school with. He's a very long friend of the family, and but Jasper matches up well. I would really feel that Jasper is going to have another victory, and then they get that match with Mortimer Jordan that we really wanted, and that's going to be a good football game. You know, Jasper's got a good coaching staff. They've got a great fan base. Their fans are so classy. Their kids. I was amazed after the game at how many kids made it a point to find me just to introduce themselves and say, "Hey, that doesn't happen much." So there was a lot of similarities between the programs. I can't say enough about the class people that's at Jasper. They treated us well. We had an easy drive up there. We had a good place to dress. And so and Brian and that crew, there's nothing you could have done about field. Yeah. I mean, it was just is what it is. It had rained and rain. I can't imagine now Southside going up there to play. After we play, yeah. I can't believe they've not moved that venue.
Yeah. Speaking of moving, Winterboro in the second round, they've moved their venue, and you guys worked with them very closely in getting the game moved to Sylacauga.
We did. You know, Alan was on our staff in 2006, and then went and took a head coaching job at Collins. Was the head coach at Winterboro now, and him and Anthony Jacks we were both very good friends, and they both called Monday, and it started just, can we use the field to practice? I said absolutely. And then that conversation built on that. I said, look, if it keeps raining all week, don't do what we did.
You actually saw that early on.
Yeah, I said, don't play on a field that is conducive to you getting beat. If you can get on turf, get on turf. So we called the state. We made sure they could move the venue. We've been dealing with Emily Harris, his principal at Winterboro. We've been dealing with, I think it's Dr. Lacey, who's the superintendent of Talladega, and we've moved that venue. They practiced yesterday. They'll probably practice today. And Friday night, I'll be kind of, instead of a head football coach, I'll probably be a stadium manager, and we'll just kind of make sure that Winterboro's got everything that they need. You know, we'll make sure that Lamar County's got everything they need, and just make sure that Winterboro's got everything they need to try to win another playoff game.
And the logistics aren't that easy either, coming into Sylacauga, and you got to make sure all those things are done.
You do.
As a host, that working well with the county school system, and we wish Winterboro well tomorrow night. As athletic director at Sylacauga High School, your job doesn't end with the cleaning out of the locker of the football team.
No.
You got other winter sports.
No, you know, Tuesday night, you know, we hosted Briarwood. Our boys basketball team won and played really well, and we had 4 games. And I
3:30 on.
3:30 on. We were watching basketball, and I want to give a shout out there for the first time. And I think, and somebody called and correct me, I think it's the first time we have ever fielded a JV girls basketball team. And they will struggle as the first year, but I think it's phenomenal that we've got that much interest with our girls in basketball to feed the varsity, and we're very excited about that. I thought I watched Coach Copeland Tuesday night. He played a lot of kids against Briarwood. It was good to see that many kids in and off the court. And, you know, you just switch gears now. There's a beauty about Sylacauga is this. When it's football season, it's all in for football. And when football's over, it's all in for basketball. And as basketball goes, you'll see, and then as spring sports start, you know, on days, you know, baseball plays or softball plays or soccer plays or tennis or golf, everybody goes to whoever's playing at home. And so those are the things that we're very proud of. We wanted to build it that way here. We want it that way. We want it to be an all-sports school, and that it's Aggies versus everybody. And, you know, and that's kind of what we like. And you saw our student body coming out. You saw there was a lot of folks at the gym, and, you know, it's time to you switch gears and go to basketball.
Absolutely. What, 14 years for you now? How many?
14 years as the head football coach. I think it's 8 or 9 as the athletic director.
And we've been doing this show for 14 years.
14 years.
And we certainly appreciate you, and thank you for allowing us to have you on every Thursday morning during the football season. And we wish the Aggies the best, and your family the best in the holiday season.
Appreciate it. You too.
We got more daybreak just ahead.